Okay, good evening, everyone. We're here for the regular council meeting of February 22nd. We'll do quick introductions, and we will get right into the meeting. With us, we have Councillor Joel Lemoine, Councillor Shane Pelletier, CEO Mitch Duval, evening. Myself, Chris Ewan. We have Councillor Janine Boulanger,
Evening.
Councillor Jason Bodnerchuk, good evening. And in the background, we have our Assistant CEO, Dominic Lemoine. Perfect, so we will just jump right into it. We're doing show of hands for the vote, the expert person. So we'll start with item number 1, meeting called to order. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bodnerchuk, second. Councillor Lemoine, thank you. Anything before we open the meeting? Call for the question. All those in favor? That is carried. Thank you. Open the meeting at 7:01 p.m. Item 2, adoption of the agenda. Do I have a mover? Councillor Boulanger, second by Councillor Pelletier, thank you. Agenda is good as is, no changes. We will go through as planned. Okay, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? That is carried. Thank you. Item 3, adoption of minutes. Do I have a mover? Councillor Pelletier, second. Councillor Boulanger.
Last regular council meeting was held February 7th, whereby we received the RCMP delegation. Council also gave third reading to a school reduction speed zone bylaw, adding the community of St. Adolphe. The GPHA loan was given first reading. There's a rezoning application going on for the daycare in Ile-des-Chênes that got first reading. Subdivision was approved. There was also an extension of a conditional use. There was also an air brake motion to have signs included for the community of St. Adolphe, as well as life cycle and capital grant funding for recreational facilities discussed.
Perfect, thank you. Any comments or questions or edits from council? Seeing none, I can call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried, thank you. Item 4, committee reports and minutes. Do I have a mover? Councillor Lemoine, sorry. Councillor Bodnerchuk, sorry, Councillor Pelletier, your cup was hand for me. Noted.
Committee reports was submitted by Curtis Clayton regarding the Triple R committee report as presented.
Perfect, thank you. Good to see something going strong.
A lot of good information there. A lot of projects, a lot of opportunities for people.
It's good.
How do we get these up to everybody? Like, there's a lot of brochures, and we just help spread the word, or?
Yeah, so there's a community futures rep, his name's Dave Smith. I think he's the one that kind of goes around each community, chain of commerce, businesses, and he drops off what he can, but I can definitely get him to drop off whatever information he's got to share to the RM office. He might have been here today. Was Dave here today? I didn't see him. Oh, I talked to him somewhere. Okay. I can talk to him.
I was just wondering if it's our job to take this to our community and to talk to people about
It's
it.
an opportunity.
It's an opportunity,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. There's a lot of information there. Okay.
Okay. Any other comments? Call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Item 5.1, accounts paid to be approved. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bodnerchuk, second. Councillor Pelletier, thank you.
Accounts paid to be approved, batch 16951, $31, batch 16974, not $31, but $227,000. That batch basically is DFA claims materials from Centennial Gravel.
Thank you. I'll open up for council comments, questions, anything?
No, good.
No, call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. Thank you. 5.2, accounts not paid to be approved. Do I have a mover? Councillor Boulanger, second. Councillor Lemoine.
Batches 16978, 2023 expenses of $428,534. Batch 16982, some electronic transfer funds, $3,500, and batch 9 ending in 983 for 2022 invoices in the amount of $39,000. The big batch there is the 428. Good part of that is for the payment to per diem for the Ile-des-Chênes daycare in the amount of $251,000. other summaries have been provided to council.
Thank you. I'll open up for council, final questions, everything's been answered. Okay, I'll call for the question, all those in favor? That's carried, thank you. Item 5.3, payroll to be approved, do I have a mover? Councillor Pelletier, second. Councillor Boulanger?
This is in regards to payroll 3, of 26. Things appear to be very quiet right now, kind of scary. I don't know if it's the calm before the storm, but we'll hope for, good weather here on out.
Just have to say.
No, I had to say it.
Okay, any, comments from the council? Yep.
I just see a lot of overtime on one staff member, I just wondered what,
Yeah, and there's a side note on the comment side, she's been putting hours in for DFA claims.
oh, there it is,
So
okay,
piecing up that DFA claim is
Oh, yeah.
a lengthy process,
for sure.
but her hours will be recoverable in that claim as well. So,
Oh, perfect,
Excellent.
good to know, thank you.
Okay, I'll call for the question, all those in favor? That's carried, thank you. We are moving on to public hearings, so I'll give a quick rundown on how the public hearings will work. We will call the public hearing number, say 6.1 for example, and then, it'll be read out. And then I will open the public hearing. I will ask those wishing to speak in favor in person first. And then after that, I'll be asking if there's anyone that'd like to make a presentation in regards to the public hearing. Then I'll be asking if there's anyone that'd like to speak in favor in person, in favor on the phone, in favor online. Once we've gone through that, we will move to anyone wishing to speak against in person, against on the phone, against online. And then I'll do another round, and the last call, and then I will close the public hearing, and that time, there is no more public engagement. And we will get it rolling with item 6.1.1, V1 2023 Waddell 1937 Carrier Drive, St. Adolphe.
the proposal is to vary the following: the south side yard from 25 feet to 4 feet, and the front yard from 75 feet to 61 feet plus or minus, for the purpose of building an addition onto the attached garage. Notices were sent out as per the Planning Act.
Thank you. I'll open the public hearing at 7:07 PM. Is there anyone wanting to make a presentation or speak on behalf of this project or this variation? In person, online, or on the phone? Seeing none, is there anyone wishing to speak in favor? In person? Come on up, sir.
I'm the owner.
Okay.
I'd like to approve it.
Fair enough. Did you have anything you wanted to add before we get you to sit down?
Yeah, well, the plans may have changed as far as depth but what I need is the approval for the south end side.
Okay.
And the north or east-west sides may be shorter than the original proposal.
Okay. Does that affect anything, Mr. CA?
South, east, west, maybe. Okay, I gotta look at it.
We're just gonna pull it up here. Are you looking to go bigger on the east or west?
Smaller than original plan.
Okay, yeah,
So less.
it should be fine.
Okay, so that's fine, yeah.
There's lots of room there on that.
But wider on the south side? South side was just a proposal, and whatever I can get on that side would be beneficial.
Okay. Council, do you have any questions for the gentleman before he speaks? No? Okay, thank you, I appreciate that. Is there anyone else wishing to speak in favor on the phone or online? Is there anything received in favor?
Nothing received.
Thank you. Anyone wishing to speak against in person? Anyone wishing to speak against on the phone or online? Anything received against?
Nothing received against.
Okay, one final call. Anyone wishing to make any final comments, speak in favor? Okay, Councillor Boulanger.
I'm sorry, I was just reading the variation and with the comment about the south side yard going bigger, so it's asked right now is from 25 feet to 4 feet, so if it goes bigger, how much more? We're already at 4 feet.
Okay. Do you have a number in mind?
I think it's important, you know.
I guess I'm gonna need I'm gonna pose a question. How much room do I have on the south side for an easement or property line or? From my existing garage, I thought I had 17 feet, and I'm only gonna need 12 or 13 to do a double garage.
I think our, experts over here are looking at their maps, so. Officially 16.
Do you know where your property line is?
No, that's been all wiped out since the flood, but.
There's no pins?
Part of the conditions of the variation is to obtain a legal survey, so that way you will know where your property line is. Because that's very important to know, to avoid any neighborly disputes in the future. So right now, what you're saying is you're not gonna go as far south as anticipated.
The opposite. He wants to go as far south as he
I-
can, sorry.
I don't know how far I can be without going over the line kind of deal, so if you think 16 feet, how close can I build to that 16 feet? 14? 13?
Well, here it says to 4 feet, you're looking to go to 4 feet from the side. That's the original ask, correct? Is 4 feet from the property line.
Right.
We couldn't push you further south
I don't want to.
than the 4 feet. So then that's fine,
We're good with that?
with the 4 feet.
Yeah, because it reads 25 to 4, which is 19, and he's talking 16, so we should still be respecting the 4 foot.
Because the drawing we have here, it says 17 feet, but if you're saying 16 feet, that gives you an extra foot, 5 feet, which is above the 4 feet, so you're fine.
It's if you go less than the 4, then we can't, because that's not what we
Sent out in the notices. So he's fine.
He's fine, as long as you're under, you're fine.
Under 4, yeah, or
Over
over
four.
4, I mean,
Over
as long as it's over 4.
Yes.
Over 4. I think we
North
all-
of 4.
Okay,
Clear as mud.
The least amount, or the shortest you can be from your property, as asked for tonight, is 4 feet.
Yeah.
So anything, and that's, your property, your picture might not be based on where your property line actually is. So once you determine that, you might only have 2 feet, and you need to stay in 4 feet.
Agreed. How do I get a mark?
Any of the surveying companies can look after that for you.
Okay.
okay. Understood? Councilor Belanger, you're good?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Totally lost track where I am. We're done. We closed the hearing? Yes, I'm closing the public hearing. Thank you. I'll do one final call if anyone has final questions, comments, in favor, against, online, on the phone, in person. Okay, I'll close the public hearing at 7:14 PM. Do I have a mover? Councilor Belanger, second. Councilor Pelletier, thank you.
Therefore, be resolved that variation application V1 2023 to vary the minimum required front yard distance from 75 feet to 61 feet and the south side yard from 25 feet to 4 feet for the purpose of building an addition onto the attached garage in a AL agricultural limited zone is approved, subject to the following conditions: that the yard drainage shall not affect adjacent properties. The applicant shall obtain a legal survey of the property to determine property lines prior to building. The applicant must obtain written approval from property owner to the south prior to building. 4, applicant shall obtain a building permit from the RMA Richard office. And 5, the applicant shall provide building plans stamped by an engineer. Not sure why condition number 3 is in there, but that could be up to council for discussion.
Approval from the property,
At the south.
yeah.
I think that was based on the, there's a dike, on that side.
In the tree line.
Which overflows, I'm assuming, both north and south, so.
So we'll leave it in there, council, you betcha. Okay, I'll open up for council debate, discussion, comments. Nothing? Okay, I'll call for the question, all those in favor? That's carried, thank you. Item 6.1.2, I'm sorry, before we go, I'll just do this so you don't have to stay all the time, so, if you like, you don't have to stay anymore, Tanya will be in touch with you.
Yes.
Tomorrow sometime.
Okay, one question there, one of those, comments you had mentioned, I have to get approval from the owner of the land beside me.
On the south side, correct?
Because of the dike, apparently.
In what, writing, memo?
Yes, in writing, so that way we'll just shove it in the file,
Okay,
so.
sounds good.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, item 6.1.2, V2 2023 1014349, Manitoba LTD 161 Seacoop Bay, IDC.
The proposal is to vary the following: the east side yard from 25 feet to 15 feet, and the west side yard from 25 feet to 17 feet, for the purpose of building a warehouse and distribution facility. Again, notices have been sent out according to the Planning Act.
I will open the public hearing at 7:17 PM. Is there anyone wishing to speak on behalf of the variation?
I'm here if there's any questions. I think I put everything in writing.
Sure. Councilor, did you have any questions for the applicant?
Sorry, name?
Sean.
I have one question, and it may or may not be relevant, it just it'll depend on where you get your building permit from. In the drawings, it says, that it's falling under part 3 of the National Building Code, but you're under the square footage for part 3, so you can really go to part 9.
Okay.
So it just as, like, if you go to part 9, you get a building permit at the RM here, if you go to part 3, you gotta go to Hanover, so. Just maybe you wanna clear that up with one of the builders or, yeah.
Okay.
Just make sure the drawings indicate that it's not part 3, because that's what it says right now.
Okay. So after this hearing, if everything says, everything's approved, I can get that drawing changed up to section 9 or part 9?
That's right,
And then bring them back here and you guys will take care of the
building permit.
bill approved?
If it doesn't work, it's her fault.
Okay. Well, Tanya questioned it too, actually, so she didn't understand why it was canceled.
There you go, see, okay.
Perfect. Anything else from council? Questions? No? Okay, is there anyone wishing to speak in favor, in person? In favor, online or on the phone?
I'm in favor.
Duly noted. Duly noted. We folded that one. Anything received in favor?
Nothing received?
Anyone wishing to speak against in person? Anyone wishing to speak against online or on the phone? Anything received against?
Nothing received.
One final call, anyone wishing to make any comments, questions, speak in favor or against online, on the phone, or in person?
We did receive a TC Energy response letter regarding the proposal. Having read that and looked at the site proposal and how everything's laid out, I don't see a concern with TC Energy's letter.
Okay, thank you. I will close the public hearing at 7:19 PM. Do I have a mover? Councilor Bonnerchuk, second Councilor Lemoine.
Therefore, be resolved that variation application V2 2023 to vary the minimum required side yard distance from 25 feet to 15 feet on the east and 17 on the west side for the purpose of building a warehouse and distribution facility in a CH commercial highway zone is approved, subject to the following conditions. one, that the yard drainage shall not affect adjacent properties, and two, that the applicant shall obtain a building permit from the Armor Reach Out office. Or wherever is required.
Well, that's why he just looked at me.
We could probably add that wording in there, actually.
We'll make sure.
Okay, I'll open up the council discussion, comment, council, anything to add, debate on? Oh, no?
No, I think it's logical the way you laid it out, to go the other way doesn't make sense, so, yeah.
So what was that called again? It was,
Part three
part three?
or part nine?
Three.
You want part nine?
Two, part nine.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll call for the question quickly. All those in favor? That's carried, thank you. And again, you guys are more than welcome to leave now.
Okay, and just one quick question, once I get that drawing changed to a part nine, coming with the drawings for approval, how long does it take for the permit after that? Usually it takes about 2 weeks. About 2 weeks, okay. Okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to the conditional use portion of the public hearing. 6.2.1 C1 2023 Dolinsky 420 Carloni Cove, Carloni Cove.
The proposal is to allow a ground-mounted solar collector in the rural residential RR zone. Notices again have been sent out to, proper properties accordingly to the Planning Act.
I'll open the public hearing at 7:22 PM. Is there anyone wishing to make presentation in person, online, or on the phone?
I am online, property owner for the lands in question here, and just wanted to basically outline that the intention for the solar collector is to fall within the parameters of the zoning bylaw and to conform with the minimum required setbacks and the maximum heights as outlined in that document, and to install the system per standard industry practices.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Council, did you have any questions for the applicant?
I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Hi, it's Councilor Belongia here. Have you done solar panels before? My question is that, does this cause any kind of glare or nuisance visually to neighbors?
Excellent question. Our property in particular has, I would consider a shelter belt. And so over the past 8 years, we've established, it would be 6 rows of hybrid poplar trees. So largely in the summertime with the low angle of incidence, you would really see no opportunity for reflection into adjacent properties. And really in the wintertime, the angle is not opportune for that kind of nuisance reflection in any shape or form.
Okay, thank you. That's it.
Anything else from council? No? Okay, is there anyone wishing to speak in, thank you very much. Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor in person? Speak in favor online or on the phone? Anything received in favor?
Nothing received?
Anyone wishing to speak against in person? Anyone wishing to speak against online or on the phone? Anything received against?
Just a comment from Imperial Oil, again, doesn't seem to interfere with the project.
Thank you very much. Okay, final call, anyone wishing to make any general comments or questions, speak in favor, against online or on the phone or in person? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing at 7:24 PM. Do I have a mover? Councilor Belongia, second by Councilor Lemoine.
Therefore, be resolved that conditional use application C1 2023 to allow a ground-mounted solar collector is approved subject to the following conditions: that the applicant shall obtain a building permit from the Armor Reach Out office. 2, that the applicant shall provide foundation and building plans stamped by an engineer. 3, that the applicant shall comply with zoning bylaw 9/2019, section 513. Four, that the applicant is to follow the necessary ground disturbances protocol, including a click before you dig request to Imperial Oil before installation to ensure no conflict arises with Imperial Oil pipeline infrastructure. Five, the solar collector must remain outside of the Imperial Oil right-of-way. If this is not possible, Imperial Oil must be contacted directly. And six, that the applicant shall sign a confirmation letter accepting the terms. There may be site audits conducted to ensure compliance, and any non-compliance issues may be caused to revoke the conditional use at any time.
Thank you. Open up for council debate, discussion, council. Anything to add, comment, make question on?
So we're great.
Okay. I will call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Dolinsky. You don't have to stay on if you don't want to. You're more than welcome to, though.
Thank you.
We are moving on to 6.2.2, and at the same time, I would like to do the public hearing for 6.3.1. So we will do both those public hearings, C2 2023 Mirage 1461 PR 200, and bylaw 17 2022 rezone 1461 PR 200 from AL to CH. This is, yes, public hearing.
Okay, the bylaw 17-2022 is to rezone a piece of property from AL Agricultural Limited to CH Commercial Highway. The conditional use proposal is to allow a general contractor service in the commercial highway zone if bylaw 1722 is approved on a 0.6 acre parcel. Again, notifications have been sent out according to the Planning Act.
Thank you. I will open the public hearing at 7:27 p.m. Is there anyone wishing to make a presentation in person, online, or on the phone? Oh, come on up. Just your name, please.
I'm the applicant, Jesse Morose. So what we're looking to do is we're looking to put a shop for a commercial business there. We are looking to have everything covered up, secluded, nothing sitting outside, clean, in the street. We currently use half-ton vehicles and such for our business.
Good. No, that's fair.
Are there any questions?
Council, do you have any questions for the applicant?
I have a question about the site coverage. It seems like you're gonna be, there was a comment somewhere where this building is gonna pretty much take up the whole site. Is that correct?
So what had happened was we had received an email from Tanya on the 31st asking for a site plan with no real direction on what requirements were needed. So we had just drawn something up quickly and sent it to her. But we are willing to meet the requirements needed for Manitoba Highways in order to have safe access to and leaving the property. And we're willing to modify our building in any way required to do so.
Because I think there's a lot coverage percentage maximum.
Absolutely, it was just drawn quickly with no real measurements on the picture either. It is just drawn with a marker.
Okay, so yeah, when you go for your building permit, that would obviously dictate, okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Anything else from council? Nothing right now.
Just a quick question.
Yeah.
Volume of traffic.
Very little. Our company is less than 5 employees currently, with no real plan to grow much bigger than that. As for coming and going, very little. Just coming to the shop to make something or just to load up and take off to a job site, but there's no actual, it's not like it's a production shop or industrial building doing any kind of painting or anything like that. It's just mostly tool storage, somewhere to load up in the morning and head out to the job site.
Excellent. Where's your business currently?
Also located on PR 200.
I always appreciate new businesses coming to our shops. Anything else from council?
No.
No? Okay, I appreciate it. Anyone wishing to speak in favor, in person? Come on up, sir.
I'm that Prince father, Davey Burrows. Been in business in this municipality for 20-plus years. We're looking to relocate the shop portion so I can divide my personal place now, which has residence and a shop. So that's why we're looking at buying this property and continuing in the RM.
Anything from council? No?
Sorry, just a quick question. So the land is not purchased yet?
No.
Okay.
This was all done through the guidance of Tanya, excuse me, about what it needs to be rezoned correctly. Apparently this was the right step, so we're just following what we're told.
Okay, yep.
We were given a very short time about the MIT stuff. I don't know what the requirements are. All we said, and we said from the beginning, we'd like to occupy as much as the property as possible indoors. Any adjustments needed to meet requirements, so be it.
Okay.
So.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak in favor? In person? Anyone online wishing to speak in favor? On the phone? Anything received in favor?
Nothing received in favor.
Anyone wishing to speak against in person? Come on, sir. Just your name for the record.
Okay, my name is Isaac Lapa. I'm a community planner for the municipal relations department. So, community planning has concerns with this proposal, and, we know that the property is currently designated, green agricultural, and changing it from the zone from agricultural limited to highway commercial doesn't align with the development plan designation. So, that is one of the concerns, and also the second one, which I'll refer to, planning report council, is, MIT, highways, objection to the proposal. So based on those two factors, we are not in support of, the proposal.
Okay. Council, do you have any questions for municipal relations? No? No, nothing? Okay. Yeah, we'll come back to you, you can ask questions, yeah. Okay, thank you, I appreciate it. Anyone else wishing to speak against online or on the phone? Anything received against?
Basically, just as the previous presenter spoke, regarding community planning, not fitting the development plan, with the green agricultural zone. Also highway, and I'll just read what highway has said here, Manitoba Transportation and Infrastructure, or whatever they want to be called these days, objects to the proposed rezoning. They are not prepared to approve the intensification of the use of the existing access or the construction of the proposed building, as the rezoning area lies entirely within the controlled area of PR 200.
Okay. I'll go around, I think there were some questions I wanted to be asked from the applicant. Yes, you can, he'll ask them through me and then I'll ask him back.
Just a little history of this property. Since 1997, it's been empty, and what used to be there was a homestead. There's no farming, there's no grain field, there's zero. It's an empty grass lot. It's unsightly. Even if it was agricultural, and if we were farmers and we built a machine shop, it's no different than what we're asking for. I don't know what else to say.
No, I appreciate that, I respect that, thank you. Council, do you have any?
So you said it's unsightly, does anybody maintain it at all? Nobody cuts the grass, nobody cuts the,
Minimum.
a weed
Yeah.
field?
Just a minimum, like a bunch of abandoned properties around
Yeah,
200.
okay.
Okay, thank you. And I'll get any final comments, questions, and speak in favor, yeah, come on up, sir.
Yeah, my name is Vincent Croto. I've known Dave all my life. Lived in the community majority of my life as well. I just wanted to put in support of the business and the fact that he's been here for a long time. The request that he's put forth is, like you said, no different than a shop, like a building, like the shed by the maize and corn there, that sits with the combine in it. I hope that the RM looks at that as being a progressive thing for the community.
I appreciate that, thank you. Final call, speak in favor, against, make any final comments?
Question for the applicant. There's, right, a driveway there now? Existing?
Existing approach to the
Do you have the map? We have your photo?
Right in the south corner there.
Yeah.
So east,
I'm,
south corner.
I'm just trying to,
Looks a little, I think it looks a little green,
Ours
so we
is-
weren't sure.
yeah.
It looks like it's kind of deteriorated, turned to nothing. Okay.
There's a band of trees kind of dividing the agricultural land from that property. I wonder, is that a coulee or is that,
Just
like
flat
a
farm,
band of
and
trees?
most of those trees are on that property.
Yeah, if there was a dwelling there in the past.
A question for the applicant. Basically, that parcel can't really be farmed with today's farming technologies,
It never was.
and never was.
It was
But even if you would
residential.
convert the grass or whatever's there into agricultural land, it's almost impossible to get a disker or anything in there.
And there's still an existing well on the property.
Sorry?
There's an existing water well.
Oh,
on the
well, I
property.
heard dwelling, so, okay.
Not a
Can't see the well, and they
water
can't see the well. Okay, thank you.
Okay, I will, close the public hearing, 7:37 PM. Do I have a mover?
Okay, so,
Yeah.
proper protocol would be to go to the bylaw. Right. 17/20/22, because the conditional use is contingent on the bylaw being approved.
Okay, so I'm not closing the public hearing, I'm just going straight to the bylaw.
No, the public hearing is closed. We need a mover and second for second reading of the bylaw.
Okay, for 6.3.1, do I have a mover? Counselor Bonner-Chuck, second. Counselor Pelletier?
Okay, so basically, it's be it resolved that council gives second reading to the bylaw, being a bylaw to rezone the property from AL to CG.
Thank you. All open for council discussion. Counselor, do you have any comments to make on this?
Just that this is, you know, we're all pro keeping ag land,
Mhm.
that's our mandate, that's, we strive to keep that, but this is an exceptional piece of property, I think, it's very small, like you said, it probably can't be farmed, so you just leave it to grow the weeds every summer.
I agree. No, I agree. Anything else from council?
I'm just wondering what we can do if council's in favor of the bylaw, what we can do to help the applicant with MTI and community planning to try to make it better. If approved, council could only give second reading tonight because there are objections on the table. So the conditional use would be off the table as well for tonight. However, if council does give second reading and votes in favor, then the matter is then deferred to the McDonald-Reach Planning District, and then we send notices to the objectors accordingly. So then it will go there and then come back to us.
Well, I think we'll go through whatever motions we can tonight, and then,
Just trying to lay everything out for council.
for you, I guess, for the CEO, contact community planning, MTI, and see what we can do. If this is the route council wants to take, because it seems like it's the best fit for whatever this land could ever be used for, would be my debate for them. And see if we can just have a meeting with both and see what we can do. Yeah, if we go that route. I'm saying, that's what we're going, we'll vote right away on it. Anything else from council? Nope. Okay, I'll call for the question, all those in favor? Opposed, none, that's carried by vote, thank you. So we won't be doing the conditional use?
No, because it needs third reading and we can't go to that tonight.
Okay, so you guys understood that? It's been passed-ish. It's been passed-ish, we still have another process to do because there's objections. So it's gotta go to another table essentially. In the meantime, we will try our best to work with the governing bodies that be to see what we can do to get this going in your favor as best to our abilities, because we do believe in the project, so.
So just so I'm clear, community,
Community planning and management of infrastructure
And-
that have the major component of issues, yeah.
well, I think community planning, that's a no given, it's gonna improve it from something useless the last 26 years.
Yeah.
MIT, we need to understand what their requirements are. We have nothing, I don't know if that can be shared
Yeah,
or to us.
Mitch is gonna make a note here, so we'll ask those questions too, and then we can relay it through Tanya or.
The only thing I heard kind of verbally from this and that is they're concerned about backing out onto the street. Well, we have no intentions of that.
Yeah.
I don't know what the MIT requirements are.
We'll try and gather as much information as we can. So that's all we can do for you tonight. Okay. Mr. Steele? Yep. You're welcome to stay or go. Whatever you want. Going back to 6.2.3, C3 2023, Campbell 508 Heron Avenue.
The proposal is to allow a home-based business in a residential general zone, RG8, consisting of making food items for the sale to outside customers. Again, notices have been sent to surrounding properties as per the Planning Act.
If you open the public hearing at 7:42 PM. Do I have anyone wishing to make a presentation on this in person, on the phone or online? Yeah.
I'm against.
Oh, you're,
Or,
you're against? No, I'm just asking for someone that's, the applicant essentially, I'm asking if they wanna make a presentation on. Online or on the phone? Presentation, no?
Yes.
This gentleman here?
He's muted.
You're muted, sir.
Oh, okay. Thank you. My name is Sori, and my spouse and me, we have a passion on making cake and dessert. That since the birth of our first child, we want to do this service only on the weekend. And because my wife is educator and I am a IT analyst, we have a full-time job. We want to contribute to our community. I think the people, we saw that the people don't need to drive 30 or 40 kilometers just to have a cake for their party. And I would like to say also this service will not change anything in the life of and the tranquility of the neighbor. All the manufacturing is done inside the kitchen, and we will do the most of the delivery of item, and there will no an additional traffic for driving or something like that. And I would like to say also there will no delivery of equipment, no material, no project at home. We care about the health and the well-being of people in our environment. Thank
Okay,
you.
appreciate it. Thank you very much. I will open up for council questions to you. Council, do you have any questions to ask the applicant? Okay, go ahead.
Hey, bonsoir, Monsieur Cabo. Councillor Lemoine here. I got a few questions in regards to whether it's baking or cakes or whatnot within a home. If you'd look into regulations regarding commercial kitchen requirements, licenses, permits. There are restrictions in producing foods within your own kitchen and selling it. So that's something I know is probably within the conditions here, so I'm just asking if that's something you've looked at.
Yes, I would like to know, the question is what? I'm not very fluent in English. I would like to know exactly what do you ask.
Speak French.
Yeah.
Il y a des restrictions à respecter quand vous faites la cuisine pour revendre les produits de votre domicile.
Oui.
Alors, une question que j'ai, une cuisine doit être certifiée, licenciée, commerciale pour produire de la nourriture à domicile et faire de la vente. Alors, j'étais juste curieux de voir si tu as fait cette recherche-là.
Oui, oui, nous avons fait cette recherche et aussi nous avons déjà nos certificats en fait de manipulation des aliments et de la sécurité des aliments de la province. Donc, nous avons déjà ça. Nous sommes conscients de tout cela et puis c'est vraiment pris en charge. Aujourd'hui, on sait aussi que ce n'est vraiment pas un business au sens du terme. On sait que beaucoup de personnes font ces démarches-là sans forcément demander un permis. Nous, on a voulu, en fait, comme je vous ai dit, c'est vraiment pendant le week-end et ce sera pour servir des gens proches de la communauté parce qu'il y a le besoin, ça va changer quelque chose. Nous avons eu l'opportunité, en fait, à travers notre passion, de faire beaucoup de formations sur faire les gâteaux, tout ça. Donc, on veut faire participer et venir aux besoins de notre communauté et pouvoir aider et participer dans notre nouvelle communauté. Et donc, c'est vraiment dans ce sens-là. Tout ce qui est conditions en fait d'hygiène et de trucs, nous avons effectivement déjà ce certificat.
And has his handling.
And has food handler's license, but he doesn't have his commercial license, is that what I understood?
No, he seems to say that he has his food handling certificates, but
That's not what's.
There's nothing to do with the facility.
Food handling, anyone can go.
Yeah, so I think the issue, and I'll say it in English,
Yeah.
Mr. Right, so the issue is, Councilor Lemoine said, and it's true, you need a commercial license to sell your products you're making in-house. So you need to go through the province of Manitoba to get certified. So I own a business, I own a food business, I have to be health certified in my trailer or my storage unit, and the province comes and verifies and they certify that I can make food in my business, in my trailer. You would have to get the same thing done in your home. They would have to come in, you'd have to schedule an appointment, and they would say, yes, you need this, you need to add this, you're okay here. They would give you a checklist of things that you have to complete before you can be certified in order to sell your food. I think the governing body is called Manitoba Food and Health Safety?
Yeah, they just changed, because they changed it over.
Yeah, I can't remember.
They keep changing, so.
Yeah, it's online, you just search, Food and Health Safety Manitoba, and there's a link and the information. So you need to get that done before you can sell food. That's just general knowledge that we're sharing. That's nothing that we have control of, that's the province that controls that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay, I can double check that, but yeah, it's this is our objective also. We want to do that well and the right way. You know, I know here, because it's not really a commercial business. I know many people do that on your home, and is not just is not on the right way, is not with the permit to do that. We know that. Just so it's yeah, it's correct for me. I would like to do just it's for just some time, but we want to do that on the right way. Okay, I can double check that. Yeah.
I think that would probably be one of our conditions as well, that, yeah.
It is, yeah.
So if it's approved tonight, one of the conditions would be you need one of those provincial certifications and approvals. So So you couldn't operate this until you got that, even if we gave you approval to do that. Does that make sense? Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Si je peux faire une suggestion,
Oui.
quelqu'un qui... Ouais. On a un agent de développement économique ici à la municipalité. Son nom est Ryan Fauché.
OK.
C'est bien que tu puisses le rencontrer, puis il va t'élaborer les étapes et les contacts de l'inspecteur de nutrition, le food inspector qui vient de Steinbach.
No, it's Winnipeg here.
Oh, OK, Winnipeg. Puis il va avoir les guides à suivre. Ceux qui font la cuisson de la maison, qui
Oui.
vendent dans un marché, ou qui vendent des gâteaux pour des amis, ou qui donnent,
Oui.
ça c'est leur affaire. Mais quelqu'un qui fait une production, ça prend une personne qui devient malade, tu vas te faire poursuivre.
Oui. Alors, OK. D'accord. Oui, je comprends. Oui, il vaut mieux que, puisque ce sera le public, d'accord, je vais prendre rendez-vous avec Brian et puis...
Et on a probablement dans la municipalité des cuisines commerciales à louer.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Commercial kitchen for rent.
Yeah.
Ça, c'est une autre option. C'est tu prends,
Oui, mais non, en fait, aujourd'hui, pour le moment, nous, on ne veut pas faire parce que, comme je dis, c'est seulement le week-end. On a déjà nos emplois à temps plein. On a une connaissance qui pourra être très utile pour la municipalité. Je suis convaincu, mon épouse et moi, que nous apportons quelque chose de plus à la municipalité. Nous sommes là, ça fait à peu près 6 mois. On voit le besoin qui est là et nous, c'est un plus pour nous de contribuer au développement de la municipalité. Mais pour le moment, ce n'est pas dans l'objectif de faire de ça notre business. Donc, ça ne sera pas pour le moment aller sur de la location parce qu'on va le faire uniquement le week-end et au besoin. Et ce sera vraiment ponctuel et on n'a pas d'employés.
non, je parlais d'une location 2 heures, 3 heures de temps. Ça, c'est possible aussi parfois.
OK. D'accord. Donc, si je passe à la mairie, à la municipalité, je pourrais prendre les différents renseignements. Vous dites Brian, n'est-ce pas?
Okay, go ahead, Mr. CEO.
Question. Votre clientèle, comment est-ce que vous allez les contacter? C'est-tu à la maison? C'est-tu un site web? C'est-tu virtuel? La question, c'est que concerne pour le trafic dans ce neighborhood-là. So the question is, what's his clientele? Where are they coming from? Website? Are they coming in person? How is that contact made? Because some of the concerns are regarding traffic in the neighborhood.
Oui, donc ce que je disais, c'est que le trafic ne va pas augmenter. Comme c'est un produit sensible, nous allons faire presque 90% des livraisons parce que c'est sensible et aujourd'hui, la majorité des gens ne veulent pas se déplacer. Donc, comme ça ne sera pas une grande production, ça veut dire qu'il faut s'attendre que peut-être que c'est 2 ou bien 3 qui seront faits par week-end. Donc, ce ne sera vraiment pas une grande production. Donc, c'est sur ce côté que je veux que ce n'est pas une production industrielle. On n'a pas des employés. Ce sera à notre rythme. C'est que si on peut faire 2 gâteaux ce week-end, c'est 2 gâteaux qu'on va faire. On ne va pas faire 10 gâteaux par week-end. Donc, ce sera vraiment donner notre passion, partager notre passion avec les gens de la communauté et surtout, on est conscient que ce qu'on fait est bien et bon. Donc, on va produire quelque chose d'exceptionnel au niveau de la municipalité et même au niveau de Winnipeg. Nous sommes déjà conscients de ça.
Sharon's passion, right? That's just the
95% of it will be getting delivered.
yeah. It doesn't see much traffic.
Okay.
Il n'y aura aussi il n'y aura pas de livraison de matériel, il n'y a pas de livraison d'équipement, donc il n'y a aucune livraison, donc pas de camion. c'est aujourd'hui un service qui n'aura aucun impact sur l'environnement ou bien les voisins.
Okay. D'autres questions? Any other questions from council?
No orders or anything like that. Sorry, Councilor Bonnerchuk can say it all. No orders from the house, anything like that, that would disturb neighbors around. You said no to the delivery vehicles and such. And so you're basing, this is mostly just a delivery business, not a pickup business, is what you're mostly having it as?
So first question is, will there be any smells that are not good coming out of the house when you're baking?
Burnt.
Yeah, burnt, right? Like, do you plan on cooking things that don't smell good? I'm not too sure I don't know how to ask that question. What kind of odors will be coming out of the house while you're baking? And will they be noxious? Overpowering?
It's a good smell of cake.
Yeah.
A very good cake.
You got me there. And then what was the other one?
You said delivery, is the business basically just more of a delivery business? Like, that is what the goal is? Is this gonna turn into a like a more of a pickup thing eventually? Like, that's kind of.
Well, I said that he only expects 2 or 3 sales over the weekend, maybe they come there, but most of it will be delivery, is what he said, right? So he did say that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Councilor Bonner? No. Okay, okay, thank you, that's all the questions we have for now. I will just keep going on with the public hearing. Is there anyone online, in person, or on the phone wishing to speak in favor? Anything received in favor?
Nothing received in favor.
Anyone wishing to speak against in person? Come on, sir.
So I provided you guys a letter against the,
Did you want us to read that as well, or do you just want to speak on behalf of it?
I actually wrote it quite well, so I prefer, if you haven't read it, to read it out,
Sure.
please.
Yeah. Do you want us to read it right now?
Sure.
I'll read it. Mr. CEO. Well, thank you. Tanya, the following letter is in response to the rezoning bylaw request to allow a home-based business at 508 Perron Avenue in St. Adolphe. We are in objection to a proposed application for rezoning. Residing at 500 Perron Avenue for over 22 years and being residents in the Arm of Ritchop for many decades, the Proto family value, respect, and support local enterprise in the community. We also value, respect, and support residents' right to live in a quiet and designated residential zones free of commercial activities. We chose to live at 500 Perron Avenue, having experience living at 629 and 431 Main Street in St. Adolphe for many years, as it was distant from Main Street, where many small businesses have set up point-of-sale commerce, and this has resulted in higher traffic flow in those areas. See image 1. And council has this as well. Perron Avenue is a major pedestrian corridor to the Perron Community Park. Recently, the municipality resurfaced the street and the ditches were filled in. No sidewalks were installed, and this results in high levels of pedestrian traffic on the roadway. That includes children cycling, skateboarding, and families with strollers, especially on weekends. The kids enjoy the clean and smooth surface to skate on, as it is safer to use, and even paint the street with chalk with pictures and hopscotch. And we have a lot of 4-legged pets taking their owners out for a stroll every day that appreciate using the road for that purpose. Furthermore, Perron Avenue sees an increase of wildlife due to the buffering vehicular traffic, as it is not a main thoroughfare in the community. See image 2. Having lived 22 years on this street, we value the benefits of living in a designated residential zone. Rezoning 508 Perron Avenue for a small business with point-of-sale access would not only disrupt these long-withstanding activities of the residents using the street with increased traffic to contend with, but it would directly impact our family's right to relax and enjoy our backyard in private, as the proposed closed deck where people could wait, as outlined in the application, is in plain sight of our open deck. See images 3, 4, 5, and 6. Coincidentally, we were not made aware of this application until we received the notice in the mail from your office, and that probably has to do with this fact. The added traffic to an inner street of a residential area would also result in additional traffic of all surrounding streets to access this location. It would undermine the safety and sanctuary it currently provides for the residents living in the heart of a residential zone, as well as the surrounding street. There are already signs posted on Proto Drive reminding motorists to slow down due to the children at play, as well as signs frequently posted at Proto Drive and Gagnon Drive to remind motorists to come to a complete stop. Increasing traffic flow for a small business would only make this concern harder to manage. Another concern is the size of the driveway for parking that was noted in the application. At best, it would accommodate only 3, not 6 vehicles for in and out access, and this would result in additional vehicles parking on the street, including the homeowners' vehicles, as they may need to keep their vehicle out of their garage to prevent being boxed in due to customers parked in their driveway to accommodate their deliveries. This may also result in customers parking in our driveway and in front of our home, or delivery vehicles utilizing our driveway to pick up or drop off deliveries if the proposed parking lot or street availability has customers parked there. Having owned and lived at 431 Main Street, we are quite familiar with this issue of traffic congestion, people parking in our driveway, and the subsequent lack of respect for a property where people literally that are patronizing a business beside your home. That was one of the main reasons why we sold our property at 431 Main Street and moved to 500 Parrot Avenue, see images 7 and 8. The easiest way to resolve these concerns of safety, increased traffic, and customers disrupting a residential neighborhood on the weekends is simply not to approve this rezoning application. Promises could be made by the applicant to alleviate these concerns, but if this application is approved and these concerns occur, there is no one to enforce these concerns than us, the homeowner. Once an application is approved, there is no putting the toothpaste back in the tube, as it were. As this application is part of Alameda City and Sori Campo's plan to start this small business, we would rather see them choose a new location, preferably in the vacant commercial spaces currently available in St. Adolphe, be utilized as intended. For many years, St. Adolphe has had difficulties in encouraging small businesses to set up shop in commercially designated areas, from street vendors parking at the town's busiest intersection to pop-up vendors parking on the street. These sorts of activities promote an environment that anyone can operate a business wherever they please in the community. This burden of enforcing entrepreneurs to operate in a safe and designated commercial spaces in the community should not be a resident's burden to bear. The municipality has several commercially designated areas in St. Adolphe and potential point-of-sale sites that small businesses should be encouraged to utilize instead of their own homes. There are currently vacant commercial outlets on Main Street Strip Mall, as well as alternative point-of-sale sites that have adequate parking, such as the Club Amical, St. Adolphe Pioneer Hall, etc., that could be rented. As Alameda City and Sori Campo have only lived in the community for 7 months, you may not be familiar with the St. Adolphe Market, as well as the St. Norbert Farmers Market that operates every weekend. As we'd like to welcome our new neighbors into the community and encourage them to establish roots as the Proto family has in St. Adolphe, we would encourage them to look into other alternatives for their small business venture as mentioned. We would ask that the RM Council respectfully decline this application of rezoning on behalf of the residents in the community that would like to maintain a distinction between the residential and commercial zones of our community. Best regards, Vincent and Irene Proto. And then council has the pictures that were attached.
I just wanted to add to that, the fact that our family has owned a business outside of this municipality in the R. McReynolds for several years. And we are quite familiar with owning a small business, the requirements of the small business owner, and the preparation that's required to run a business in a municipality. One of the issues that I didn't mention in there was the fact that it's on a residential street, there's no signage, so then you're having people knocking at your door thinking that you're the business owner. And as the applicants haven't yet even applied from the province of Manitoba for the certification, that's why I was hoping to encourage them to find a different option. Not discouraging them in trying to become a small business owner, but putting it in a proper place. Just like Mr. Morose, I supported his application. It's because it makes sense. We've seen small businesses in the community come and go. And another concern I have that I don't know how that is affected, that particular residence has been owned by 3 different owners in the last couple of years. One was actually, he lived on 75 Highway and he moved here and then he ended up moving to Morris. The previous owner, I was telling Davey that he was from Vancouver. So he lasted about 2 winters and the flood scared them the hell out of here. So not that I want this approved, but if it does get approved and the homeowner leaves, does this now entertain the opening opportunity for another person to come in with a small business rather than having to use that as a residence as it was intended?
So just so you know, and correct me if the conditional use dies with.
No, it doesn't. It stays with the property.
Oh, okay, good. that's when we screw up. Okay, good comment.
Yeah, so, if you have any questions,
Comments for the council?
well, I just wanted to add one more thing. I overheard you guys were talking about reducing the speed limit for the school zone, and I see how much work you guys have put into that. In a sense, I don't want you guys to have to do that on my street.
Can I say something or?
Right away, you can make a comment right away. Anything else from council? Good. You're good? Nothing?
I have something, but it's left me.
Okay, thank you, I appreciate it. Anyone else wishing to speak against online or on the phone?
Yes.
Not
I would like-
yet, sir, not yet. Just hold on
Okay.
1 second there, Mr. Campo. Anything received against other than that one letter?
Other than that one letter, we do have another letter from Dana Bouvet at 519 Perron. Hello, this is in regarding to the proposal at 508 Perron to allow a home-based business consisting of making food items for outside sales to customers. I am against the proposed based on the increase of traffic that would be brought into the area. As you are aware, there is a park on the same street, and that is heavily used by children and families, especially in the summer. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, I will open it up for questions. So, Mr. Campo, I think you had some comments to make?
Yeah, I would like to say again, this is a very, very small business. And the traffic is depend directly for us. If we have one customer or two customers, we have a choice to say, the first customer, you can come, for example, at 4 p.m. and the second one come at 5 or 6 p.m. This is, and the product we say we will do the 90% of the delivery. This is it's a delivery service for 90%. We will no more traffic for this one. We have two child. I have 9 and 5 here child. We care about our child also. Donc I will just like I would like to know, for this business, it's a small business. It's a first opportunity for our community. I can say that today, and we will see that when you start, if you have an approval. This is just all the traffic, it's a depend for us. We can plan that, and anyone can see. We choose to live at Saint Adolphe. We make this choice, and we will be there for forever. We choose Saint Adolphe. We would like to live there here, and it's for that we want to just start to participate, to give this opportunity to the community. It's just that I would like to.
Thank you, I appreciate that. I will ask for any final comments, questions. Come on up, sir.
I just want to respond to that in the sense that even though it is a small business, it is a business. The ramifications of rezoning are much greater than just a couple people coming on the weekends. As our gentleman over here spoke about the green space, I'm talking about the residential space. And it's other than discouraging the business, I'm just discouraging the location of the business. And I hope that the mayor and council has the foresight to see how this can impact the community if it's not done properly. I appreciate that.
I remember when we did this, because he brought it up. We're not actually rezoning it. It's just a conditional use to the zoning of what it is, or like the residential, right?
It's a residential zone.
Yeah.
You're allowed permitted uses. For other items, it's a conditional use. So having a home-based business, I believe is the terminology here,
Yeah.
home-based business in a residential general zone is allowed if conditions are placed on the property and if approved by council. So it's not redesignation of the zone, it's a possible use out of the property.
Yeah, and in regards to the presentation that the applicant provided, the fact that he wasn't aware of the the provincial, guidelines regarding the commercial kitchen and such. The fact that he's already repeatedly said that it was gonna be a very small business, only a couple of people, shows to me that there's a lot of planning that still has to be done. And it concerns me because what turns into a couple people turns into something else, and just saying yes at this table can impact quite greatly if it's not regulated properly. I just feel that if you're gonna have a baseball game, you play it in a ballpark. You don't play on the street. And when you're gonna run a small business, I realize he's starting out, that's why there's the Club of Macau, there's the Pioneer Hall, they have kitchens. I don't know what the regards to the coding is for the province for him to operate out of there, but that's a better opportunity that wouldn't impact us so much.
I appreciate it. Any comments before I close the public hearing? I'll close the public hearing at 8:11 PM. Do I have a mover? Councillor Belanger, second Councillor Lemoine.
Resolution reads, therefore be it resolved that conditional use application C3/2023 to allow a home-based business consisting of preparing and selling food items such as cakes and desserts to outside customers is approved, subject to the following conditions. 1, the applicant shall acquire the appropriate licenses and permits from the provincial authorities. 2, the applicant shall not cause the generation of undue traffic and congestion in the neighborhood. 3, there shall be no customer parking on Perron Avenue. 4, the space devoted to the business must not exceed 20% of the total floor area of the primary dwelling, or 300 square feet, whichever is the lesser. 5, if any signage shall comply with the municipal zoning bylaw 9-2019, section 11. And 6, that the applicant shall provide a signed confirmation letter accepting the terms of this order. There may be site audits conducted to ensure compliance, and any non-compliance issue may be caused to revoke the conditions at any time.
Thank you. I'll open up for council discussion and debate. Go ahead, Councillor Lemoine.
I know it's a license and a permit, but I don't know if we should add the words commercial kitchen requirements to the first sentence. Just throwing it out.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
I would deem that as a friendly amendment.
Yeah. That's the friendliest amendment I've ever heard.
Commercial kitchen,
Anything else from council discussion?
and I'll word this accordingly, so.
Yeah, I'm just concerned about the balloon effect. So the cakes and desserts are going great, so now they're going to expand because they've got a license to cook or to bake for other people. So I just worry about it getting, and don't get me wrong, you want every business owner to be successful, that is great. But if it does get out of control, and I know we've got the conditions, not cause a generation of undue traffic congestion in the neighborhood, but it's something that has to be monitored and checked in on, so I just worry about the balloon effect, that's all.
Yeah, I'm the same way, and especially if it's weekends only, and the people, like, it gets bigger and more people start coming, and the more traffic, that is already a very busy street in the summer due to the park right there.
Okay, anything else from council? Councillor Lemoine?
We, correct me if I'm wrong, do have, home-based businesses already established in our communities, I believe on that street, or the neighboring street, which have maybe lots of in and out, because it might be massage, therapy, I forget what it is, so we're not saying no to home-based businesses. I don't foresee a lot of traffic here. But again, this is not their first request of a home-based business, I don't think.
Anything else? I think for me personally, I would like to see a little bit more due diligence done for the business before seeing this come to council. Business plans are always good, understand the permit requirements first, things like that. That's probably why I'm very hesitant for something like this.
Actually, the contingency plan, like, okay, if it's approved, and it starts getting almost too big, well, what's his plan then? What are you gonna do? Like, if you're saying this is just a very small business on weekends, all of a sudden you start getting 10 orders a week, 20 orders a week, what is your plan to
where's this business gonna go? Because it's not gonna be feasible to go there, to stay there. And also, like the gentleman said, when the person leaves and that condition lease is still on there, it's already approved for anyone to go in there, we can't stop it then.
Anything else from council? No, okay, I'll call for the question, all those in favor? Opposed? That is defeated, 5-0, thank you. Moving on to item 7.1. Bylaw, if you guys, you're more than welcome to leave now if you want, we're moving on to other items, so. Online as well, Mr. Campbell, it's been defeated. Okay.
Oh, tomorrow, yeah.
I just saw that. Okay, item 7.1, bylaw for 2023 noise, do I have a mover? Councilor Bonnerchuk, second Councilor Lemoine.
This goes back to a resolution that council passed regarding a request to the Department of Highways to install, some engine retarder signs, into the community of St. Adolphe. So that was done, as part of the process, the Department of Highways is also requiring that this noise inclusion, be part of the noise bylaw. So this is why we have made modifications, accordingly. Without the bylaw, they're not prepared to put up the signs, I believe.
Okay, I'll open up for council comments, questions, debate. Council, anything to add? Nothing? Call for the question, all those in favor? That's carried, thank you. Item 8.1.1, IBC daycare land acquisition, do I have a mover? Councilor Pelletier, second Councilor Bonnerchuk.
As part of the Ildashane daycare project, we are in the process of finalizing land acquisition with the landowner, doing a public works plan. Sorry, plan of works, not public works plan, a plan of works regarding the property as well. So just another notch to be done.
Perfect. Council discussion, comments? Call for the question, all those in favor, that's carried, thank you. Item 8.1.2, St. Adolphe daycare project, do I have a mover? Councilor Belanger, second. Councilor Pelletier.
As a recent announcement, the St. Adolphe project, St. Adolphe has also received a second daycare as part of this phase 1 project. Also included in the communities are Taché, McDonald,
Morris.
the 4 new ones, Taché, Beausejour, Rockwood, and Beausejour, Broken Head, and McDonald, as well, so those 4 have been included. So this is to almost piggyback the Ildashane project, so one will follow suit after another. This resolution is just to, regarding the agreements with the provinces and authorizing, the CEO to keep working with John Q, who has been wonderful to work with regarding these 2 projects, to keep the ball rolling for both.
Okay, council discussion?
I just have a comment about it's just a typo. I didn't think it was a typo, so I had to actually Google it to see it, but it is a typo. It's a Financial Assistant Agreement. Province of Manitoba to negotiate.
Financial.
I know, and I'm not trying to be obnoxious, I just thought it was.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
You're doing a terrible job.
Try to keep it real.
You're keeping it as real as I can keep it, that's for sure. Okay, anything else from council? No? We're finically good here? Okay, call for the question, all those in favor? Carried. 8.1.3, January 2023 building permit reports, do I have a mover? Councilor Lemoine, second, Councilor Bonnerchuk.
Permits for the month of January, 3, a whole value of 1.4 million, and building fees of 3,700, compared to 2022 at 14 permits at a value of 4.3 million and 12,000 in building fees. So quite slow at the moment.
Great, it told me that we're up here, so. wait, I just lost my thing. Okay, I'll open up for council discussion, comments to make.
Hopefully it picks up.
Yeah,
I think it's blame it on the interest rate.
I will call for the question, all those in favor, that's carried, thank you. I lost my page, but I think that was the last one, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so we'll go to adjournment, do I have a mover? Counselor Boulanger, second, Counselor Lemoine. Final comments? Any corrections to make, Counselor Boulanger, no? We will call for the question, all those in favor? That's carried, I will close the meeting at 8:20 PM. Thank you very much for attending, everyone, please stop recording.